I never imagined he'd leave me. Not over something so small. But it happened. My name is Jessica. I'm 30 years old, and this is my confession. It's been weeks since everything fell apart, and I'm still trying to process it. I never meant to push him that far. I just wanted him to snap out of it, to get a grip. But when I told him to man up, right there, in front of our friends, that was the breaking point. And honestly, I still don't fully understand it. We were at a friend's house, the kind of night we always had, laughter, drinks, the usual chatter. But Chad, my husband, was quiet. Not his usual self at all. He's never the loudest in the room, sure, but he'd usually crack jokes, make sarcastic comments, join in somehow. That night, he just stared at his beer like the weight of the entire world was crushing him. I won't lie. It annoyed me. We have kids, bills, responsibilities. Yeah, life is hard. But I was juggling all of it. Getting the kids to school, paying bills, holding the house together. So why was he just sitting there like a ghost? Why was he such a mess? At first, I tried to be subtle. Throwing him glances, hoping he'd snap out of it, hoping to bring him back into the moment. But he didn't move. It felt like I was the only one trying to make the night enjoyable. Frustration bubbled up inside me until I blurted it out. I don't even remember the exact words anymore, but I said it, man up, Chad. Maybe I thought I was joking, but honestly, I wasn't. I was fed up. And the moment those words left my mouth, everything changed. Everyone laughed, like it was just a silly joke. But Chad, he just froze. The look he gave me was like I'd slapped him in front of everyone. It wasn't funny to him. Not even close. He stared at me for a long, heavy moment, then looked away. Suddenly, the whole room seemed to quiet down. People were still talking, but I swear I could hear my heartbeat pounding in my ears. I'd seen him upset before, but never like this. He didn't say a word, didn't defend himself. He just stood up and walked out. I was stunned. What was that about? Couldn't handle a joke? I'd apologized before for stupid comments. Why was this so different? We'd been through worse. But that night, something snapped. And I didn't even realize how deep the cracks were until it was too late. It wasn't just the man-up comment. It was all the years of me pushing him without even noticing. The money fights, the tension that built up quietly behind the scenes. I've always been bad with money. Spending recklessly while he tried to keep us afloat. Lately, he'd gotten quieter, more withdrawn about it, and I didn't understand why. I thought he'd just shrug it off like always. But no. That night, everything spilled over. At first, I thought he'd come back, maybe apologize himself, maybe say he overreacted. But he didn't. Not that night, not the next. Then, when he finally called, all he said was, I need some space, space. I'd been giving him space for years. How was this any different? When he didn't show up for the kids' soccer game the next weekend, the truth hit me hard. Chad never missed those. Ever. I felt guilty, sure. But a part of me wondered, what did I even do wrong? If he couldn't handle a simple comment, how could he handle anything else? At first, I wasn't even sorry. I said the words, but inside I was cold. I told myself it was just a dumb joke, and if he couldn't move past it, maybe he wasn't the man I thought he was. Looking back, I regret it. But at the time, I still felt like I was right. He should have been stronger. He should have stood up for himself. But he didn't. And now, I'm left wondering where he went and if I pushed him too far. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm not the only one to blame. I don't know. Do you think he overreacted? Should I even try to fix this? Because I'm starting to feel like this is the end. And maybe, just maybe, I don't know how to fix it. I kept telling myself he'd come back. This was just a silly fight in front of friends, not the end of everything. He'd get over it. We'd move on. But he never came back. Never tried to talk it through. I know what you're thinking, this is my fault. I shouldn't have said those things. But I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Then, 2 weeks later, I saw him for the first time since that night. The kids were with his sister, so there was no excuse not to reach out. I called him, heart pounding, nervous as hell. When he answered, his voice was flat. No anger, no warmth, just emptiness. Hey, I said, trying to keep it light. How have you been? Good, he replied. That was it. We need to talk about what happened, I said, voice shaking but trying to sound steady. I didn't want to sound desperate or weak. But he wasn't eager to talk. I don't think there's anything to talk about, Jessica, he said coldly. Hearing that sent a chill straight to my chest. You said what you said, and it's not the first time you've pushed me, he said. You've been doing this for a while. His words hit me like a punch in the gut. I wanted to fight back, defend myself. But something in his tone stopped me. He sounded exhausted. Like he was done. I hated that feeling. Hated that he seemed ready to give up on us. But deep down, I understood why. I'd been messing up for months. Maybe I didn't realize it. Or maybe I did, but I just didn't care enough to fix it. I didn't mean it like that, I whispered. It was just a joke. I was frustrated. Silence. Then he sighed. I know you didn't mean to hurt me, Jess. But that's just it. You don't realize how much you hurt me when you say things like that. When you make me feel like I'm not enough, I'm not the guy who's just going to sit back while you tear me down. I can't keep fixing everything when you don't even care about the mess you're making. I froze, trying to digest what he was saying. He was right. I'd never truly understood how much I piled on him. The financial chaos, the emotional weight, all of it. Every mistake I made, I expected him to clean it up. I thought that was just his job. He was the husband, the provider, the protector. And I thought I could get away with being me. But he wasn't letting me anymore. He was done. I'm sorry, I whispered. But it felt hollow. I knew it wasn't enough. Words weren't going to fix this. I couldn't just say sorry and expect everything to snap back to normal. I don't know if I can do this anymore, Jess, he said quietly but firmly. I need more than this. I need someone who respects me, who sees what I do and appreciates it. Not someone who just expects me to keep fixing things while they keep breaking them. Those words hit me like a rock. He was done trying. And suddenly, I flipped. I couldn't accept it. I had to prove I wasn't the terrible person he thought I was. I had to remind him we had a life together, kids, a family. I wasn't about to lose all of that. You think I don't appreciate you? I snapped, sharper than I meant to be. You think I don't see everything you do? I'm just trying to live my life, Ched. You don't get it. I have to deal with the kids, the bills, the house. Everything. I try. I mess up sometimes, but I try. He didn't answer right away. I could tell he was holding back, trying to stay calm. But I heard the frustration in his silence. Messing up all the time isn't an excuse, Jess, he finally said. You don't take responsibility. You don't even try to change. And that's the problem. His words struck harder than any argument before. He was right. I never took responsibility. I always blamed him, the kids, the circumstances. Anything but myself. But deep down, I knew the truth. I was the one messing everything up. Well, I'm not perfect, I said, trying to sound casual but coming off defensive. Nobody's perfect. I'm not asking you to be perfect, he said. I just want you to understand. I can't be perfect either, he sighed again, then said something I'll never forget. Maybe I'm not perfect, but I've tried. And I don't know how much longer I can keep trying when you don't even seem to care. That was it. That was when I realized he might actually be gone for good. I didn't know what to say. I just sat there, the weight settling in my chest. The silence was thick. The truth? I didn't know how to fix it. Maybe I wasn't even ready to. But as I stared at my phone, a cold truth hit me. This wasn't just about the stupid comment in front of our friends. It was about everything. Me, him, us. And maybe, just maybe, I was the one who needed to change. But I wasn't ready to admit it. Not yet. The days after were torture. I replayed every word, every tone, every silence. I felt shamed. Deep down, I knew I was the one who pushed him this far. But I couldn't bring myself to say it out loud. I wasn't ready to accept I might have been wrong. That I might have destroyed everything. I kept telling myself I wasn't the bad guy. That I was just human. That he was overreacting. I pretended everything was fine. But it wasn't. Not anymore. I couldn't look at him the same way. And worse, I didn't know how to fix it. The more I thought about it, the more I saw how much I'd taken him for granted. How much he'd held us together while I spent money we didn't have on things we didn't need. I left all the mess for him to clean up. I was reckless. Selfish. But I couldn't face that truth yet. 2 days later, he called. His voice was softer than I expected. Can we talk? He asked. I hesitated. But of course I said yes. We had to try. I wanted to fix it, but I had no idea how. We met at a coffee shop. I was a nervous wreck, practicing apologies that never felt good enough. He looked tired, worn down, not the man I married. No warm hug, no spark in his eyes. Just a nod and a seat across from me. Before I could speak, he asked, Do you realize how much damage you've caused, Jessica? His voice was quiet but heavy, loaded with pain. You don't see it, do you? How much I've tried to fix things. How much I've tried to make this work. But every time you say or do something without thinking, it chips away at everything we've built. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought those were just little frustrations, but to him, they were devastating. I didn't mean to hurt you, I said, voice shaky. But you keep doing it, he said. You keep pushing me away without even realizing it. You expect me to just sit back and take it. That's not how this works anymore. I wanted to defend myself, say I was under pressure too. But I knew the truth. I wasn't trying. I was running from responsibility. Selfish. Deep down, I knew it. I never wanted to push you away, I whispered. I just don't know what I'm doing. I mess up, but I never meant to make you feel this way. He was silent for a moment, then sighed. I don't know if you get it, Jess. You say you're sorry, but your actions don't match your words. I don't know how many more times I can try to fix this if you don't even care. It's exhausting. His words stung because they were true. Every time I messed up, I expected forgiveness without change. I was scared. Terrified. I wanted to fix it so badly, but I knew a few apologies wouldn't cut it. I know I've messed up, I whispered. But I still love you. He rubbed his face, frustrated. I don't think you do. Not in the way I need. Not in a way that will make any difference. Maybe it's time we stop pretending, he said. Maybe it's time we accept we aren't the same people we were when we got married. I couldn't look at him. My world was falling apart. Everything I took for granted, the love, the stability, the family, was slipping away. I'm not perfect, I whispered, choking back tears. But please don't walk away. His eyes softened briefly, but then he pulled away. I can't keep doing this, Jess, he said. I need someone who stands by me, who's there for me. I've given everything, and I'm empty, and just like that, he stood up. The ground beneath me cracked open. I'm sorry, he said softly. But I'm done. He walked away, and in that moment, I knew. I pushed him too far. I lost him. And there was no one to blame but myself. The months that followed were a blur. I tried to hold it together for the kids, but nothing was the same. Chad moved out, and even though I knew it was my fault, guilt consumed me. I lay awake at night, suffocating under regret. Every missed chance, every taken for granted moment. Then, one evening, I saw him again. A few words exchanged, nothing more. But it was enough to shatter any hope left. He was done. He had moved on. No apologies, no begging could bring him back. It was all my fault. My selfishness. My recklessness. And now, I'm alone with the consequences. Regret, pain, loneliness. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget how I lost everything because I couldn't stop being selfish.